Hi folks, my name is Stephanie Battle, welcome, and this is Chakra Flow, Earth Element. So we're going to be diving into some postures today that explore the root chakra, or what's also known as Muladhara chakra. It's common in the fall season to feel a little bit more ungrounded, a little scattered. So I created this sequence to feel more of a sense of home and connection and groundedness in the body. So enjoy. For this sequence, we'll need 2 blocks. I also have a strap here. You may or may not need that, but it's nice to have one handy. And then I'm also seated on a blanket, which I may use a little bit later on for reclined postures. You're welcome to bring that in as well. You want to find a nice, comfortable and rooted seat where your sits bones are drawn back slightly, pelvis is tilted forward so that your knees fall away from your hips. You can rest your hands onto your lap here very simply and feel your shoulders relax over your hips. And when you feel ready, close your eyes. So start by taking a few conscious breaths. So a nice deep breath in through your nose, and a long exhale through your mouth, maybe taking a sigh. Take a few more of these audible breaths and connect these audible breaths to the sensation of weight. So feel the weighted quality of your body and the connection of your sits bones and the backs of your legs into the space beneath you. Feel the weight of your shoulders and your arm bones and your hands resting on your lap, and the weight of your head. And if you haven't already, gently close your lips and breathe softly in and out through the nostrils. We'll take a brief meditation here. So begin to bring your attention to the base of your spine and visualize a red glow of light that expands and brightens across the base of the pelvis on the breath in and draws back into the center of the base of the pelvis on the breath out. Breathing in, red light brightens and expands across the seat of the pelvis. Breathing out, red light returns. And keep going with this visualization, beginning to invite in the qualities of this energy center, which are rooted, grounded, stable, and safe. Rooted, grounded, stable, safe. As red light expands and brightens, you can sense any one of those qualities expanding and brightening as well at the base of the spine. And exhaling, allowing that quality and that light to return to the center. Maybe even noticing any shift in energy, in breath, as you invite these qualities in to be embodied. The bija mantra or seed mantra that activates these qualities is LAM, L-A-M. So as this red light expands with one of these qualities, take a breath in, and as the exhale comes, let light return as you repeat silently, LAM. Breathing in, quality of red light expanding. Breathing out, silently repeating, LAM. Do this for about 4 more cycles. And noticing how these qualities might change your experience of being here in this moment. finding possibly a little bit more embodiment of these qualities through your breath and your attention. Take your time lowering your chin towards your chest, holding any one of these qualities inside the body, whichever one has inspired you, that you want to follow. And then take your time opening your eyes and raise your chin, finding a long spine here. And we will transition to a standing position. And I'm going to take my blocks, set them up for mountain pose, but I'll start by facing you for this first part. So you want to find mountain pose here with your feet about hip-width distance apart. Just feeling the connection of the pinky toe mounds, the big toe mounds in the center of your heels. Just let your arm bones and your shoulders relax. The arms are heavy. Maybe there's a little bit of a swing or a sway. And then begin to rock a little bit forward towards the balls of your feet and back into the heels. Returning to a steady breath as you explore rocking forward and back. And noticing how that might activate the shins and the calves, the front of the legs and the backs of the lower legs. And then slow this rock down, see if you can find center, and then bend your knees and find that rock again. So it might intensify the sensation in the lower legs again, in the ankles, calves, even in the toes and the heels. See if you can kind of play with where your edge is, how far you can go forward, how far you can go back before you tip in either direction. Just waking up the soles of the feet and your lower legs here. And then eventually slow the rock down until you feel yourself in the center of yourself again. Then push the ground away, extend the knees and lift up through the thigh bones as you come back to mountain pose here. And then we'll use that alignment and that connection to earth to find half sun salutation. So from here, take a breath in, push the ground away with the feet, send the chest and the arms up. And as you exhale, bend your knees slightly and reach out long, maybe softening your knees so that you can more easily release your lower back. Hands can come to blocks of the floor, release the back of your neck. And notice how bowing forward may have changed the distribution of weight throughout your feet. See if you can still feel your hips aligned over your heels. As you breathe in, come back to a half lift. Extend your chest forward. Shoulders open. Exhale, relax over your legs. Breathe in, extend the arms forward and up, or you can choose to go wide. Come all the way up to stand. And exhale, gather your hands to the center of your chest. Release your arms down. We'll take another set and then add on. Take a breath in, sweep the chest and arms up. Exhale, reach way out, softening over your legs, forward fold. Breathe in, come up halfway. And as you exhale, this time step your right leg back to a lunge. Make it a full length step so that your left knee naturally guides over your ankle, and you can use the blocks to push away, or if you don't have blocks and you're on your fingertips, push the ground away. Reach back with your right thigh and heel and forward with your chest. And then slowly lower your back knee down to the mat. Bring your hands to the top of your left thigh and feel your shoulders align over your hips. Push off of your left foot and use that to sweep your arms up. And then when you're ready, guide your hips forward towards your front heel to deepen your lunge, feeling a little bit of opening along the front of your right thigh. You might even keep your back toes tucked to find a little bit of a springboard action as you guide your hips forward. From here, we're going to begin to move into Ardha Hanuman. So as you exhale, pull your hips back. Begin to extend your torso over your left leg and flex the toes as you bring your hands down to blocks. And you can adjust the height of the blocks. to where it feels appropriate for you. But relax the back of your neck. Let your upper back and shoulders relax. See if you can even guide your sit bones back slightly so you begin to move into the belly of the muscle of your left hamstring. Use your breath in to come back to low lunge. Replant your left foot. Now you can separate your blocks here, bring your hands to the mat, and sweep your left leg back, this time to the ball of your foot. And you may need to inch yourself a little bit forward so you stay on your mat here. You're going to press your left heel back and give your left calf a stretch so your shoulders will move behind your wrists. And then inhale, release that stretch. Do this 2 more times. And this next thing we're going to do, we're going to kind of act like we have our left leg is like a protractor. So you're going to point your left toes and sweep that left leg around in a semicircle until your left toe is in line with your right knee. Push the ground away and sweep that left leg back again and pull your chest forward. Let's do it again. Exhale, sweep the leg around until left toe meets the right knee, and then push the ground away and reach the leg back, chest forward. Last time. So getting a little bit of an opening in the left outer hip. Once that leg sweeps back again, extend the left leg up so it's hip height, and maybe give yourself the challenge of extending your right arm forward. Notice where more engagement might need to happen in the body in order for you to be here powerfully in a connected way. So left hand pushes the ground away, left heel reaches back, chest and right fingertips reach forward. Take 1 more breath, and then exhale, bring the hand and the knee down. And take your time sitting your hips back onto your heels. Come to child's pose. So release your forehead to the mat. You can even release your forehead to a block. Maybe give the forehead a little bit of a rock. You can open your mouth and really feel the weight of your hips softening down into your heels. Reconnect to the quality that you're working with today. And then begin to remove the block if it's underneath your forehead. Slide yourself back forward to tabletop. Tuck your toes here. Push your hands forward and down into the mat and raise your knees. You're going to begin to press back into your first downward facing dog, but keep your knees bent. So the focus is on creating more length in your spine. And then we'll walk it out a bit. So right heel lowers towards the mat. Left heel pulses up as the left knee bends. And switch. Lower the left heel, bend the right knee, left the right heel come up off of the mat. And you can do this a few more times, just alternating from side to side, opening up the backs of your legs. And then come to a firm down dog here. Again, reaching the hips back away from your fingers. Soften your knees, scoop the belly, and then step your feet slowly forward towards your hands, coming into a forward fold. Breathe in, extend the chest forward, come all the way up to stand, sweeping your arms forward or widen up, your choice, and then bring the hands together at the center of your chest. Lower your arms down, let's take the other side. Take a breath in, sweep the chest and the arms up, push the ground away with your feet. Exhale, reach out and bow over your legs, forward fold. Breathe in, come up halfway. And as you exhale, step your left leg back to a lunge. Again, full length step. Push the ground away with your right foot. Lift the belly away from the top of your right thigh. Taking a few breaths here. Just finding that connection of your feet into the ground. Then lower your back knee down to the mat. Push off of your front foot and walk your hands to the top of your right thigh. And then begin to explore moving your hips forward towards your front heel. So deepening your lunge a bit until you find some sensation along the front of your left hip and thigh. And then begin to extend your arms up overhead. Feel the bottom ribs lift up towards your fingers. Moving into half split, Ardha Hanuman here. You're going to begin to pull the hips back. Extend your right knee and flex the toes as you bring your hands and arms forward and down. So maybe your hands come to blocks or the mat, but you're going to relax your upper back, your shoulders, your elbows, and release the back of your neck. See if you can also pull the pinky side of your right foot back a little bit so that you get an opening along the outer seam of your right leg, not just the inseam and the back of the leg. Breathe in and return to low lunge, replanting your front foot. Separate your blocks, bring your hands to the mat, and sweep your right leg back. We're coming to the ball of the foot again, so you might want to inch that left knee a little forward. And we'll take the calf stretch. So press your right heel back, stretching the right calf, shoulders behind your wrists. And inhale, pulse forward, releasing the stretch. 2 more times. You'll be finding a gentle hug of the navel in on the exhale as you press your heel back, giving you a little support in your lower back. And then we'll find that little protractor. So come to the big toe of your right foot and begin to sweep your right leg around to the right until your right toe aligns with your left knee. Push the ground away with your hands, pull your chest forward as you reach your right leg back. Do this a few more times. This is getting into a few more parts of the hip, outer hip, inner thigh, as you spin your right inner thigh up towards the ceiling. Last one. And then once that right leg spins back, raise the left leg hip height. And then if you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, extend your left arm forward. Pushing the ground away with your right hand, reaching back. Feel the reach of the right hip back through the heel, and the center of the chest extending out towards your left fingers. Take one more breath in, reaching long. Then exhale, bring the hand and the knee down, and sit back onto your heels. Come back to child's pose. Really invite that sensation of weight. So there are 2 ways that we use the ground in our practice to engage out of it and to also be supported by it. And we need those in equal amounts. So when you're resting, really rest. Begin to bring the block back out to the side if you place it under the forehead, and then come up to tabletop. Tuck your toes underneath you, push the ground away, lift the knees, and press your hips back, downward facing dog. Maybe finding that little gentle pedal again, observing the sensations along the back side of the body. Now that this is the second round here. And from here, soften the knees, walk your feet slowly forward towards your wrists until you come back to forward fold. Release over your legs. And then as you breathe in, extend the chest forward, send the arms forward or widen up, come all the way up to stand. And exhale, bring the hands to the center of your chest. And then release your arms down. And we're going to take a little bit of a chair pose variation. I'll kind of face on the diagonal for you so that you can see the arm position. So begin to bend your knees, bring the weight into your heels, and send the arms up. So you want to feel your hips guide behind your heels and your knees behind your toes so that your legs are active. Now as you breathe in, begin to rise to stand. Bend your elbows into a cactus shape or a goalpost and come up onto the balls of your feet. Push the ground away. Feel your chest lift up between the gate of your arms. As you exhale, come back to chair pose. Let's do this 3 more times. Push the ground away. Let the elbows draw down as the chest and the crown of the head lifts up. And then come back slowly, chair pose. 2 more times. Really find that full connection of your feet into the floor, helping you rise up. Last one. Be finding a little bit more opening in the feet. And then from here, you're going to rise to stand. Press the ground away, lift the thigh bones, lift the chest, maybe even link your thumbs to help you lift your chest a bit more easily. And as you exhale, reach out, bow over your legs, forward fold. Let's take a little step back to downward facing dog. So right or left then right. Push your hands forward and down and guide your hips back. Take a breath in, raise your right leg back and up. Soften your left heel and calf, maybe bend your left knee, maybe that right thigh and the toes draw up a little higher. As you exhale, curl your right knee towards your chin, bring your shoulders over your wrists, and step forward to low lunge. From here, turn your left heel down. Make sure you have a nice amount of width between your feet. Press into your feet, maybe bringing your hands to your hips as you rise to a warrior one. Right, so you can angle the back toes as far forward as you need to and widen the width as much as you need to feel that connection. Begin to sweep your arms up, coming into warrior one. Press down through the outer blade of your back foot and feel the left inner thigh lift into the bottom ribs, extending out through your fingers. And we'll take the same arm variation that we took a moment ago in chair. So as you breathe in, straighten your right leg, flex the toes and bend your elbows in line with your shoulders. Come back to warrior one, replanting that front foot as your arms extend. 2 more times. Push the ground away. Lift the chest, and as you rebend the knee and plant the foot, stay grounded through that back foot, finding the anchor. 1 more time. Now keep the sole of the right foot on the ground, straighten your right leg and lift up through the rib cage and fingers. Exhale, reach way out. So you're going to push off of your back foot to extend the upper body forward. Bring your hands down to blocks or to the floor. And release the back of your neck, pyramid pose. So you might need to walk the back foot in, maybe widen the width more, angle the toes more forward so that you can find more balance in the pelvis, in the pelvic halves here. And again, releasing the back of the neck and the upper back. Press out of your feet. Come to a half lift. Really root your back heel as your chest comes forward. You can separate your blocks, return to low lunge, and then step back, downward facing dog. Pushing your hands forward and down into the earth or into your mat to find more reach back with your hips. Breathe in and sweep your left leg back and up. Soften your right heel, your right calf. Maybe bend the knee so you have more access to the opening of that right leg. And then as you exhale, curl your left knee towards your chin. Step forward to low lunge. Turn your right heel down. Feel the connection of your feet into the floor. Maybe bring your hands to your hips as you come up to warrior one. Make any adjustments that you need to make with your feet so you feel stable. And then press out of your feet and sweep the arms up. So same variation here on the left. As you breathe in, straighten your left leg, flex the toes. Bend your elbows in line with your shoulders. Lift your chest up. And then exhale, come back. Warrior one, replanting your left foot. 2 more times. Keeping the anchor of the outer blade of the back foot into the floor. Maybe even as you explore, deepening the bend in that left knee, deepening your warrior one. Now keep that left foot planted, straight your left leg, reach up, then reach out over that left leg. And you may need to put a little micro bend in that left knee to make it accessible. Come to blocks, pyramid pose.
Relax over your legs. See if you can really feel the anchor of your back heel. And in that way, you can begin to explore with more clarity the space out in front of you. So anchoring behind you, maybe pulling the heart forward and coming halfway up. And keeping that open quality in the chest as you separate your blocks, come back to low lunge. Sliding the right leg back, step back, downward facing dog. Push the ground away. Now from here, you're going to begin to walk your hands back towards your feet. So draw your heels towards the ground, bend your knees, and begin to let your belly make contact with your thighs. Hang heavy over your legs. Take a few cycles of breath here, maybe wiggling your toes and reconnecting the soles of the feet into the earth, feeling well supported. And this go round, you're going to begin to roll up. So push the ground away from push the floor away with your feet and begin to roll yourself up one vertebra at a time. So push the back of your body up towards the ceiling or the sky until you're all the way up with your shoulders over your hips. And we're going to take something called walking tree. So really defining the strike of the foot into the ground, right? So heel strike, ball of the foot, toes, and then pushing off into the other foot and into the next. Yeah, so we'll start by walking forward with the right, take a little mini tree pose with the left foot, walk forward second round, and walking forward third. Maybe we even bring that left foot a little bit higher. So we'll start from the top, from the back of your mat. Start by bringing your hands together at the center of your chest, squeezing the palms together, and then heel strike that right foot forward, walk it forward, bring your left foot into tree. Any height here, sole of the foot below or above the knee, or maybe even resting onto the ankle on the floor. And then stepping with your left foot. A little bit short on space, so I'm taking smaller steps. Press the sole of your right foot into your left inner leg. Really feel the connection underneath you, and then final heel strike. Step forward, and then maybe again this left foot comes above the right knee. Notice where you want to go. A nice trick here is to not only press your left foot into your inner leg, but also press your inner leg into your foot, so that you're really finding the center line of the body. And out of that, push the ground away with your right foot, and maybe that inspires your arms to extend out to the side in that cactus shape. So root chakra or Muladhara chakra teaches us that we're only grounded so that we can expand from that place. We're not meant to stay there. So the ground is meant to inspire. So see if you can sense that here. And then bring your hands back together at the center of your chest and lower your left foot down to the ground. Release your arms, you can close your eyes, and just see if you can feel an equal amount of weight between both of your feet. Feel the center line again. And maintaining that centered quality as you turn around and take the other side. So now we'll start by stepping with the left foot forward. So we'll end in tree pose with the left foot up. So from here, step your left foot forward, right foot rises. I meant to say right foot you'll be balancing on, or right leg will be raised. Press your right foot into your left leg. And really establish your gaze. That's so necessary for your balance. And then step your right foot forward, heel strike, ball of the foot, toes. coming into tree pose on the other side. And the leg doesn't have to be high. This is just an exploration of what it's like to alternate here, stepping forward with your left, last one, choosing where you want to place that right foot. And squeezing not just the palms together, but the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Rooting into the center, and then out of that, maybe the arms widen. So there's a hug in towards the midline, there's a push of the left foot away from the ground that gives us a little bit of a sense of expanse. Okay, feeling that left foot into the ground. When you're ready, gather your hands back to the center. You might notice one side has a little bit more balance or a little less than the other. That's fine. And then you can lower your arms, close your eyes, and take a few moments here, just reestablishing center. Even if it means taking a little rock or sway. Go ahead and open your eyes here, and we'll take one more thing in the center before we take a flow from downward facing dog. You're going to start with your feet wide here. Bring your hands to your hips, and then widen your arms out to the side, sweep them all the way up, lift your chest, push the ground away with your feet. Exhale, reach out and bow over your legs into a wide forward fold this time. So your blocks are also here if you need them. Right? You can use one or both here. But begin to push the ground away with your feet to help you lengthen the backs of your legs, guiding your hips up towards the ceiling. And then use the engagement of your navel to release your lower back and allow the crown of the head to drop more heavily towards the floor. Take a breath in and push the blocks away, come up halfway. So feel the hands push the ground away, feel the feet push the ground away. And then from here, turn the heels in and the toes out. Bend your knees and start to press your thigh bones back so that your knees guide over the center of your toes. Then bring your hands to your hips once more and feel your shoulders begin to align over your hips here. Move your arms out to the side. You can bend your elbows here in line with your shoulders. Come back to cactus. Now from here, gather your hands to the center of your chest. Maybe explore rising up onto the balls of your feet. Squeeze your palms together. See if on the breath in you can find a little bit more expanse in the upper body. But as you exhale, maybe consider lowering your hips further down towards the ground. It's okay to wobble. Know that it's all play and discovery. So we'll take about 3 more cycles of breath here. Keep pressing the thigh bones back. Breath is nice and steady, supporting you. And then slowly lower the heels. Straighten your legs, widen the arms out to the side. Come back to cactus and then sweep the arms up. Lift your chest. Turn your toes forward. Reach out, bow over your legs. Forward fold. Take another pause here. Maybe noticing the difference from the first time you arrived in this pose. The open quality in the backs of your legs, your lower back, and your neck. And from here, we're just going to playfully come back to downward facing dog. So I'm just going to spin myself into the pose, really using my hands pushing the ground forward and down, finding that connection again. Breathe in and sweep your right leg back and up. This time you're going to open your hip bend your knee, relax your right heel towards your left hip. And continue to press your mat forward and down to guide your hips back. Maybe there's a little soft bend in your left knee so that you can explore opening that right hip and thigh. Extend the right leg long, and as you exhale, square the hips, curl that knee forward and come to low lunge. From here, turn your left heel down. You want to pretty much find your right heel in line with your back arch. I'm going to bring a block here. We're going to come into a supported side angle. So push the block away if you're using it, and then sweep your left arm up. So from here, I'm using my right arm as a lever against my right inner thigh, and also pressing my inner thigh a little bit into my arm, creating some resistance. And then really connect through the outer blade of your left foot so you're not pushing all of your weight into your right leg. Take a few more cycles of breath here. Take one more breath in and reach up through your left fingers. Press into your feet and come up to warrior two. And really feel your feet grounded, your hips settling, but a nice open quality from the center of your chest through your arms. Now from here, flex your right toes and straighten your leg. You're going to come back to that cactus shape with your arms. And then exhale, come back, warrior two. Do this again. Breathing in, flex the toes, bend the elbows, and then exhale, reground that foot as your arms widen. Last time. Breathing in, inspiring the toes to lift, and then reground. Now keep that right foot down, but straighten your right leg. Pull your right hip back and reach way out over that right leg. Come into triangle pose. Bringing your right hand down, again, you can use a block here. Intentionally reach up through that left arm. So really exploring the balance of weight between both of your feet. Also pressing forward and down into the big toe mound of your right foot. So now that there's an equal amount of weight through the inner and outer foot as well. Take one more breath in, and then as you exhale, begin to sweep your left arm over your ear. Feel the whole top side of the body, the left side of the body, open up. And then circle that arm down. You're going to begin to turn your left toes out and maybe bring your hands to your blocks here if you need. Skandasana, little warrior pose here. You can look out over your right shoulder, maybe push the blocks away or the floor away. Keep pressing that left thigh back. And then walk yourself back into low lunge. I'm going to take my block with me. Go ahead and step back, downward facing dog. Take 3 cycles of breath here. I'm going to spin around. Use your breath in to sweep your left leg back and up. Open your hip, bend your knee, relax your left heel towards your right hip, and continue to press your hips back away from your fingers. Steady breath here, letting your right heel settle, right calf release. And then extend your left leg long. As you exhale, square the hip and curl that knee forward, come to low lunge. From here, turn your right heel down, left heel pretty much in line with your right arch. You can bring a block into play if you'd like. I'm bringing it to the inside of the foot, but you can also explore outer. Push the floor of the block away and extend your right arm up. Supported side angle here. Root down through the outer blade of your right foot and find that equal amount of weight and engagement throughout your legs. And then reach up through the top side body through your right fingers. Really find the connection of your feet into the ground. Notice how that inspires a sense of expanse in the upper body. Now begin to push down with your feet, widen your arms into warrior two. And we're going to come into the variation. So as you breathe in, straighten your left leg, flex the toes, and bend your elbows. Cactus. Exhale, come back, warrior two. Replant the front foot. Let's do this 2 more times. Maybe each time finding a little bit more depth and connection to the space underneath you, even as the crown of your head is rising up. Now straighten your left leg, pull the left hip back. So you're going to hug your inner thighs towards one another to help you transition with ease, bringing the right hand down, maybe raising the block up a height if you need to, and then extend through that right arm through the fingers. Push the ground away. Begin to sweep your right arm over your ear, really stretching the top side of the body. And then curl that top arm down over the ear. Turn out your right toes and walk your hands down onto your mat or to a block. I'm going to flex the left toes, maybe look out over that left shoulder. Keep pressing the right thigh back. And when you're ready, walk yourself, spider crawl yourself back to low lunge, step back easy, downward facing dog. Breathe in, bring your knees forward and down, and then widen your knees apart, bring your big toes to touch, and sit your hips back onto your heels, come to child's pose. So really let your belly fall in between your thighs, snuggling the sides of the belly, in between the thighs here. Relax your hips to your heels. Let everything release into the floor. And be reconnecting to your intention or that quality that you were working on embodying today. And then keeping that feeling of embodiment. And walking your hands back, still feeling grounded, rooted, stable, connected. Feeling safe and comfortable. So this is where I invite you to turn off your camera, turn off the video, and take a little bit of time, about 3 minutes or so, to do a little authentic movement meditation. And what that means is that you'll just be moving with the qualities of this energy center. So still keep tapping into the feeling of groundedness, of rootedness, of stability and safety. And notice what comes up for you, maybe closing your eyes so that you can really better connect to how those qualities want to come through you. And then we'll meet back here in a few moments. So go ahead, we're going to come into Malasana, squat. So still feeling that energy of your moving meditation, you can bring a block underneath your hips if you would like, maybe even 2. So still inspiring that feeling of connection and rootedness, bringing your hands together at the center of your chest. Gently press your outer arms into your inner thighs, gently lift your heart. As the eyes close, sense the crown of the head gently drawing up towards the space above you. As you exhale, feel the sits bones drop down either into your blocks or towards the floor. as your elbows might push into the inner thighs. Feel the inner thighs widen and broaden along with your chest. And we'll take about 5 more cycles of breath here. Begin to take one more breath in. And then exhale through your mouth. Take your time opening your eyes. You can remove the blocks out from underneath you and support yourself as you sit all the way down. And we're going to come into a seated posture, head to knee pose. So I like to sit on a blanket for this to help me tip my pelvis a little bit more forward. And then once you're seated onto the front edge of your sits bones, feel the undersides of your legs lengthen forward towards your heels. Begin to extend the arms up overhead and push the sit bones away from the blanket or the floor. See if you can maintain that lift up as you bring your right foot in. It's a little bit of a challenge to get active without using your hands. Let the knee fall out to the side. So you're gonna press your right foot into your left inner thigh, lift up through the waist, and then as you exhale, reach out and begin to bow forward over your left thigh. And you can bring your hands to frame your left foot. You can hold on to the top of the foot. You can even use a strap here over the sole of the foot. Just drawing the elbow tips down so that it inspires a nice, open, easy upper back. Wherever you are, use the breath in to create a little bit of length from your lower back out through your chest. And as you exhale, re-soften over that left leg. Keep dialing the left inner thigh down towards the ground. So there's more of an evenness and an opening in the back of the pelvis and under your seat. Use your breath in to lengthen your chest forward. And then take your time sweeping your arms back up. Keep that length in your waist as you bring the sole of your right foot back to the mat and then extend your right leg forward. And we'll move right into the second side. Lift up through the waist. Slide the sole of your left foot to the mat. See if you can stay forward onto the front of your sits bones. That's the challenge. And then open that left knee out to the side. Pressing the sole of that left foot against the right inner leg. Reach out and begin to bow forward over that right thigh. Using the strap if you'd like, or just framing that foot with your hands. Release the back of your neck here. About 5 cycles of breath or so. If you're using the strap, it's nice to actively push the sole of your foot into the strap and create a little bit of resistance as you hug the arm bones back slightly. And that might give you a little bit more length in your lower back and throughout your spine. Use your following breath in to extend your arms forward. Come all the way back up. Bring the sole of your left foot back to the ground. Lift up as you extend your left leg forward. And then just come into a simple forward bend, Paschimottanasana. And coming all the way down to your edge, not moving past the edge, so really honoring where you are today. Maybe the strap comes back in. And pushing the feet against the strap. Even if you don't feel like you need a strap sometimes it's nice to have it because it gives you an extra boundary or a little bit of resistance to work with. Making new discoveries about where the body wants to open up. Taking about 3 more cycles of breath here. And then use your breath in to lengthen your lower back, pull your chest forward and sweep your arms all the way back, forward and up. And then take your time floating your arms down. And we'll begin to make our descent, so coming down onto your backs now. You can have your blanket and blocks nearby if you're choosing to use those later on. Begin to roll down 1 vertebra at a time until you're on your back here. And then slide the soles of your feet to the mat. Go ahead and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. And we're going to come into a reclined half pigeon. So weave your right arm through that triangle space, pick up your left foot, and lace your fingers behind your left thigh. And you can actually use the push of your right arm against your right inner thigh to encourage your right inner hip to open. See if you can keep the right inner thigh open as you draw your left thigh into your chest. So really feeling the backs of your shoulders and the back of your head softening into the ground. If you'd like to explore it, you can extend your left leg up towards the sky or the ceiling, pressing the back of your left thigh against your laced hands or laced fingers. Keep pressing your right inner thigh and knee forward. Then go ahead and point your left toes. You're going to begin to turn your right knee towards your chest, lacing your fingers over your shin. Then point your left toes and reach that left leg forward and down, trying to make that left leg longer out of your left hip. So reaching that left thigh forward actually also inspires the natural arc in your lower back. So see if you can encourage that there. Move your right arm out to the side and let's take a twist to the left. So bring the right leg over the body and across to the left. You're welcome to look towards your right hand. See if you can continue to reach forward and down with your left thigh and toes. So that there's a sensation of a yawn, right? So right side of your chest reaches towards your right arm. Right leg reaches across the body, left leg reaches forward and down. Use your breath in to come back to center, drawing that right knee in. Lower the sole of your right foot down. Draw the sole of your left foot to the floor. And we'll take the other side. So cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Bring your right knee in. Lace your fingers behind your right thigh. Maybe using your left arm against the inner thigh to open your left hip. And then do your best to keep your sits bones drawing down towards the floor as you explore hugging your right thigh in towards you. So using a little bit of resistance here and there to explore opening in the legs and in the hips, which are the body parts that this energy center targets here. Begin to extend your right leg up towards the ceiling, pressing the back of your right thigh against your laced fingers. And feel that clear line as the right heel reaches up and the right sit bone drops down. Begin to point your right toes. Draw your left knee straight in towards your chest And then use the exhale to reach that right leg forward and down, like you're trying to make the right leg longer from the top of the hip. And then once it's all the way down, give that left knee a little squeeze towards you. From here, let's take a twist. Right hand moves over the outside of the left knee. Reach your left arm out to the side and take a twist towards the right. And I'm not going to go all the way because I have my little mic pack on. It's a little bit in the way, but you can choose to look towards your left hand here. Find that yawn-like quality in the body on this side. Take about 3 more cycles of breath. Maybe deepening the twist with each exhale, finding more weight of that left leg towards the right. And then take your time bringing that left leg back to center. Now just simply draw both knees in. Give yourself a hug, a little rock from side to side. Take the back of your head for the ride as well. So there's a little massage there, the back of the skull. And then if you'd like, you can move into happy baby. So arms can move to the insides of your legs, hold your outer feet, press the soles of your feet into your hands, and use the strength of your arms to drag your knees and thighs towards your the outsides of your shoulders and your rib cage. And maybe you add a rock here. You're welcome to stick out your tongue. Take a few audible breaths to release any tension that may have been building up at all throughout the practice. And when you feel ready, slowly make your way to final rest. So you can bring your feet back to the mat. Now, this can be any pose that feels supportive for you, right? So you've got plenty of options. You can bring a little bit of a roll of your blanket underneath your knees. So if you have a little bit of low back sensitivity, sometimes it's nice to have a little cushioning at the knees so that it re-encourages the opening your low back. Sometimes that feels nice. Just land anywhere that feels super supportive for you. And once you get there, just let the leg bones be heavy. You might consider moving the arms a little bit from the center line of the body so that there's more spaciousness in the armpits. There's an open quality across the chest, out through your arms and fingers. And just drawing your chin down slightly so that your forehead is slightly higher than your chin, so there's some space in the back of the neck. When you're ready, let your eyes close. And then let your breathing return to its natural rhythm and pace and sound. Maybe visualizing the body as an empty vessel where the breath can just come and go without interruption. And as you explore the body being breathed, see if you can again reconnect the exhales with the sensation of weight. So begin to bring your attention to your feet as the breath comes in, and as you exhale, feel any tension that's present in your feet releasing with the exhale. And do this one body part at a time up towards the top of your head. And take your time. You might find that you'll have to linger in one space a little bit longer, as there might be some resistance in some parts of the body. Just be patient. Just moving through the body, encouraging relaxation breath by breath. Notice what softens and gives way with your attention. Maybe finding all the points of contact with the floor with more clarity, more weight. Once you've moved your awareness through your entire body, you can begin to invite back in the qualities that we were working with in our practice today. Rootedness, groundedness, stability, safety. Maybe there were even more descriptors that came up for you as we practiced today. And as you deepen your breath, visualize those qualities expanding and taking up more space in your body. Moving into the entire torso, into your arms, your fingers, your legs, in your feet and toes. Take a few of these audible breaths, just allowing these qualities to take up space. And then letting those qualities inspire some gentle movement. So slowly waking. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like, really relishing in the sensation of support and knowing that you can give that to yourself whenever you need it. When you are ready to return to a comfortable seat, do so mindfully without losing the qualities of groundedness, of stability, of safety, of comfort. And when you finally arrive, just feeling that settled quality in your legs, in your sits bones, maybe even feeling the skin be soft over the muscles and bones, all the muscles of your face relaxed. Feel yourself at home within your body and recognize that you are always invited here. Bring your hands together at the center of your chest. Thank you so much for practicing Chakra Flow, Earth Element. Peace.